The 20th century, a time of incredible innovation. We ventured into space, split the atom, and created plastic. This magical material, moldable, durable, cheap, became ubiquitous. From toys to packaging, cars to clothes, polymers were everywhere. This convenience came at a cost. Derived from fossil fuels, these polymers stuck around. Landfills overflowed, oceans choked, even remote corners weren't safe. The durability that made plastic useful became its Achilles heel. We're realizing our love affair with plastic needs a rethink. It's time for a sustainable approach, acknowledging our plastic addiction's impact.
Our first attempt at reconciliation, recycling. A noble idea, to be sure. Melt down the plastic and mold it into something new. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. You see, not all plastics are created equal. Some, like PET bottles, are relatively easy to recycle. Others, like those pesky plastic films, not so much. And even when recycling is possible, it requires energy, resources, and let's be honest, a bit of effort from us humans. Despite the challenges, recycling is a vital step. It's about closing the loop, reducing waste, and giving our plastic a second chance at life. But it's just the first step on a much longer journey towards a truly sustainable future for polymers.
Next up, biodegradable plastics, a beacon of hope. These eco-warriors promise to break down into harmless substances, leaving no trace of their existence. The perfect solution, it seemed. Hold on a minute. While the concept is sound, the reality is a bit more complicated. Some biodegradables need very specific conditions to break down, like those fancy composting facilities, which, let's face it, not everyone has in their backyard. And then there's the issue of biodegradable being used as a catch-all term. Some plastics might break down into smaller pieces, but not necessarily into harmless ones. It's like breaking a plate into a million pieces. It's still there, just in a more annoying form. So, while biodegradable plastics hold promise, we need to tread carefully and avoid greenwashing.
Section 4. Bio-based plastics, growing a sustainable future. Now, let's talk about bio-based plastics. Instead of relying on fossil fuels, these eco-champions are derived from renewable resources like corn or sugarcane. Imagine that. Plastic made from plants. This is where things get really interesting. We're talking about plastics like PLA, used in everything from compostable cups to three-dimensional printing, and PHA, a promising bioplastic that's even biodegradable in marine environments. Suddenly, the future of sustainable polymers seems a lot brighter. But even with bio-based plastics, it's not all sunshine and roses. We need to consider land use, the environmental impact of farming practices, and the potential competition with food crops. It's a balancing act, but one worth pursuing for a more sustainable future.
Section 5. The push and pull of change. Regulations, consumers, and a greener tomorrow. Who's driving this shift towards sustainability in the polymer industry? Governments are tightening regulations, banning single-use plastics, and promoting recycling. Consumers are demanding sustainable products and voting with their wallets. The industry realizes sustainability is good for business too. Companies are investing in research to create sustainable polymer solutions. The plastics industry is also on the verge of a transformation, finally moving beyond fossil-based plastics by enhancing existing recycling technologies, developing new biodegradable and bio-based materials, and tackling the plastic waste challenge to build a new circular plastics economy.